Now, in order to start using Claude, you have to first start it. So for that, you have to write Claude and you have to press enter. Let's try giving a prompt where we are asking Claude to explain this Selenium framework. Okay, it's completed churning and it has done that for 32 seconds and has given this output with. Now let me give this prompt where I'll be asking Claude to explain the login page dot java line by line, right? Because so yeah, it has done it in 21 seconds. It has given every single line, and for every single line it has given a very detailed explanation. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about Claude Code from Anthropic and how QA engineers can use it in their day-to-day work. So this is not going to be a video about replacing testers with AI. Instead, we are going to see how AI can help us remove repetitive tasks so that we can spend more time on actual testing and quality engineering. So let's get started. Now, before we start anything, let me ask you a question. What is Claude Code? So, Claude Code is an AI coding assistant that works directly inside your terminal and understands your project structures, files, code, and dependencies. So, unlike other browser based AI chat tools, Claude Code can actually work with your existing project. It can basically read files, analyze code, create new files, suggest changes, explain frameworks, help debug your issues, generate automation code. So, think of it as an AI pair programmer specifically for your project. Now that we've covered what Claude Code is and where it can help QA engineers, let's see it in action with a real Selenium automation project. So in the screen, you can see that I have a simple Selenium framework which is opened in IntelliJ. Now this project contains a page object called login page right over here. And it also has a test ng test called login test, which you can see over here. Okay. And it has certain Maven dependencies, which can be seen over here in the pom.xml, and a simple login test against source demo. Okay. So if you go through this particular login test file, you will see that I'll be automating a simple website which is called as the https www.sourcedemo.com. So it's just a dummy website. If you look at it in the Chrome browser, so yeah, it's basically a login page which with two fields, which is the username and password, and there's a login button. Okay, so nothing fancy over there. So it's just a small project that many of us have built hundred of times, right? So now let's open Claude Code from the root directory of this project. So as soon as Claude starts, it gains context about the current project. So before that, you need to have Claude installed in your system or basically in your root project. Before that, first thing you need to have is you have to have Node installed in your system, because without which you cannot install Claude in your system. So to check whether Node is installed in your system or not, so this is the terminal which I have opened. You just need to simply write node space -v. And if it gives you something like this, version 24.18.0, then that means that Node is installed in your system. Now, in order to install Claude Code, there's this command called as npm install -g, means it will install globally in your system, @anthropic -ai / Claude -code. Okay. So once you hit this command, you will see that the Claude Code will start to install in your system. Okay. So let's wait till it gets downloaded. Now, as you can see, it has installed all the dependent packages to install Claude Code. We'll quickly check if it's been installed or not. So for that, let's check its version. So for that, the command is Claude space hyphen hyphen version. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, it has given the version of Claude Code. That means the Claude has been successfully installed in your system. Okay. Now, in order to start Claude, there's this command simple called as Claude. Okay, so once you type this Claude and hit enter, then that means that Claude has been started now. So as you can see, it has given some welcome message. As I've already said that as soon as Claude starts, it gains context about the current project. Like it will have the context of all this project which we have in this IntelliJ as of now. So it can see basically the project structure like this, all this project structure it can see Java files, it can see the Maven dependencies, whatever test classes you have created, and all the page objects. So this is where Claude Code becomes different from a normal AI chatbot. So instead of answering generic questions, it understands the actual project that we are working on. Now, as we have Node and also we have installed the Claude Code using the npm command, so it has been installed globally. Now is the time to configure the API key so that we can go ahead and start using Claude Code from the terminal. How we can get this API key? So for that, first of all, you should be having this account created for the Claude console. I'll show you how it looks like. So let's say you have a valid account created for the Cloud console. So this is how it looks like. Now I have around $5 of credit, which I can spend on all the tokens which will require for generating all the prompts and getting help from Cloud Code, right? Now, when it comes to creating an API key, over here you can see an option called as API keys. You should navigate into it, and to create a new API key you should click on this button called as create key. Now here you can give any name, so let's say I'll give YT demo as its name. Okay, and I can select the expiry time also, by when it will get expired. So let's say I make it to 1 day. Okay, so after 1 day this particular API key will get expired. So after clicking on add, an API key got created. So I'll copy this API key. So now is the time to set that particular API key which we have created. So for that, let me open Windows PowerShell. Okay. Now in here, we'll run this command called as setx and then anthropic underscore API underscore key. Okay. And then we'll paste the key which we have just copied or created, right? So it says the specified value was saved, right? Now, as we have successfully configured the Claude Code API key into our environment variables, in order to verify if it has been successfully configured or not. So for that, you have to open your Windows PowerShell, and there you type this command called as echo space dollar env colon, then the key name, which is anthropic underscore API underscore key. Okay. So it has returned the API key value. Then that means that our Anthropic API key has been successfulully configured. Now is the time to start using Claude into our IntelliJ terminal. So this will be helping into our automation, into our code suggestion, and it's basically a pair programming kind of a concept. So let's go to our IntelliJ. Okay, so this is our IntelliJ and this is our framework. As we have already seen through it, it has two folders, one with the main, the other one is test. Main contains the page objects and the login test contains the actual code where we are trying to automate this particular website, sourcedemo.com. Now, in order to start using Claude, you have to first start it. So for that, you have to write Claude and you have to press enter. Okay, so this particular snippet will get opened up, which means that the Claude has been successfully started. Now is the time to start taking help from Claude Code by giving the various prompts. So let's say you are a new joiner or a beginner to the project, and someone asked you to start working on any particular automation framework. Now, in order to do that, you have to first go through the folders, the various files, all of it, and it might be a time taking process. Now, with the help of Claude Code, you can do it in minutes. So, for that, let's try giving a prompt where we are asking Claude to explain this Selenium framework. Okay. So, once we do that, it will start analyzing all the files, folder structure, everything which is there in this framework. And after a certain amount of time, it will give us the result. So as you can see, the process is happening. It also gives you how many tokens are being utilized, okay, for this, along with the time it is taking to do that, right? So let's wait till it finally gives us the output. Right. So it has completed churning, and it has done that for 32 seconds and has given this output, which says there are certain notable gaps in this, right? Now there's no base test class, which is an ideal automation practice, which should be there. There's no config for browser choice. Now let's say if you want to run it on uh, any other browser other than Chrome. For now we are doing it in Chrome, so let's say if you want to run it in Firefox or Safari or Edge, so the separate config file is not there, so that it has suggested the same thing. Now, there's no reporting present over here, like the extent report or LUR report, which is the very crucial part for the automation. So, uh, it has suggested to add that, and there is no explicit weight present over there, right? So, let's say in case of timeout issues or synchronization issues, if you are not giving any weight, then your script will get failed. So, these are some of the best practices which Claude Code has suggested. Now, let's get into more details with some other prompts. Now, let me give this prompt where I'll be asking Claude to explain the login page dot Java line by line, right? Because you are a beginner and you want to go through the code and you want to understand it. So let's ask Claude about it. So if I go and do this, like explain login page.java line by line, so it will again start analyzing it. It will again use certain amount of tokens for which we have already taken care of, and the amount it will take to give us the complete output, right? So yeah, it has done it in 21 seconds. So if I go ahead and expand this, you will be able to clearly see it has given every single line, and for every single line, it has given a very detailed explanation. Like for example, in line 1, I'll show you this login test.java as well. Okay, it starts from here, right? So as you can go through it, first of all, it is talking about the packages. So declare this. So package page, where line number one is for the package page. So this declares this class belongs to the pages package, right? And this is what let's login test import it via import pages.login page, right? Now, again, for line number 2, it has explained like it is importing Selenium's by class, which is a locator strategy helper used to find element, right? Now, similarly, it also explains about Selenium .webdriver. So it imports the WebDriver interface, Selenium's core handle to the browsers. So all commands like find element, click, navigate, go through it. So as you can see, and scroll through all the possible you can say the outputs it has given for each of the line. So it is kind of a very explanatory, means even if you are a beginner or you are learning automation for the very first time, with the help of Claude Code you can get to know each and every line of code in a much more detailed way, right? So let's try with some other prompts also. Now this time let me say I want to improve this particular framework. So for that, I'll be asking Claude to suggest improvements for this framework, right? So that all the best practices are being taken care of. Now, once I do that, it will again utilize some certain amount of tokens, certain amount of time, and it will give you the best possible output. So as it is still doing this activity, it has given us a hell lot of content by which we can make this particular framework more robust, reliable, and also it has taken care of everything which can make it a which we can do to improve it, right? So first it has given a suggestion like add a base test to kill duplications, right? So it has even given you the code which you can directly copy paste it and put it in your respective class, right? Isn't it a very amazing thing, right? Now second, it has given you a suggestion to add explicit wait. So this is the biggest reliability win. Now all these functions like find element, send keys, so with no wait is the number one cause of flaky Selenium test issues. So it has given you the code for that as well, like you can go ahead and just copy paste it and run it, it will work all fine. Now it has given you a suggestion called as externalize the configuration. So for example, browser, base URL, timeouts, all credentials, they are basically hard coded over here. So it has suggested you to move them to a config.property plus a small loader so you can switch the environment browser without recompiling. So with all this, it has given you certain other suggestions as well, like a total of you can say 9 suggestions it has given you, by which if you implement all those 9 suggestions, your automation framework will become much more robust. So yeah guys, so this is how I see most QA engineer using Claude Code. So not to replace testing, not to replace automation engineers, but to eliminate repetitive engineering work such as understanding frameworks, explaining code, reviewing implementations, debugging failures, and improving code quality. The result is that we spend less time on boilerplate work and more time on actual quality engineering. So this was all about for this video. Please subscribe to this channel so that you can get some more amazing content around the AI tools which we'll going to cover in the next videos. Till then, thanks a lot and have a nice day. Every automation engineer knows this feeling when you trigger your Jenkins build, you come back after lunch and then you see this failed. The next 1 hour disappears into logs, stack traces, and screenshots. But what if AI could investigate these failures for us? So today I'm going to show you how I use Claude Code to analyze Selenium failures. So let's quickly see that with an example. So here, as you can see in the IntelliJ, I have created a framework where again it has 2 folders, one main and the other one is test. So in this login page.java, it has all the page objects, while in the login failure.test, it has the actual code to run the scripts in the Chrome driver. Now again, we have taken this particular website www.saucelab.com as our targeted website, but here we have done one intentional change. So if you go to this login page.java, here this login button, first of all let me show you the website. So I'll quickly go to this particular website, I'll copy this link. Yeah, so again, this website has basically 3 fields, one username, the other password, and the last one the login page. So what we've did is we've intentionally created a wrong locator for this particular login page. So if you inspect this, so you will find out that its ID has attribute ID has this login button value. But if you look into our framework, here we have given login button broken. So definitely if we run the script, this particular script will fail, and it will give an error which we are expecting to be as no such element found exception. Let's see how it goes. I'll quickly run this file. Okay, so I've started the execution. It has launched the Chrome browser, but see, it has failed, and as expected it has given us the error of no such element exception. Now this was a simple one, but in real time you guys might have faced n numbers of exceptions while working with automation framework, and that could be anything. So in order to deal with all such you can say exceptions, the time it takes to debug those exceptions, and the problem it creates, so we have a turnaround for that. What we can do is we can use and we can take help from Claude Code to debug or analyze this particular failure. So for that, what we will do, we'll open our terminal. Okay. And same thing, we'll start the Claude over here by writing Claude, and here it has asked some security guidelines. It has asked us to choose. So yes, this is a trusted folder. So I'll go with option 1, and our Claude has been started. Now what I'll do, I'll write a prompt which says analyze this Selenium framework and explain what this is trying to do. Okay. Now once we hit enter, it will start churning the things, and it will take some time and some amount of token, but at the end it will give you the entire output. Yeah, so it has given us this output where it has explained the entire framework with all the files and folders, explaining every bits and pieces of it, and explaining what exactly this framework is all about. So it has given the Selenium version which we are using, TestNG version, WebDriver Manager version, and it has now explained about the various Java classes which we have in our framework. And also, as I've mentioned, that we had an intentional flaw over there, right? For this particular locator of this login button, we have intentionally provided a wrong ID attribute value. It has identified that as well, right? So it said that this particular demo or this particular framework uh, and the class name login failure test, okay, are the giveaway, and there's a planted bug in the login page.java, and it has given the line number 7 where the bug is actually present. So see, it's that smart. Now it has given other details as well, but that's okay. Now we will be asking Claude to analyze that particular failure for us. Okay, so for that, what we will do, we will again write a prompt to Claude to analyze the failure, why it got failed. So for that, the prompt is the following test failed with no such element exception, which we have received in our stack trace, right? So we will be asking Claude to please analyze first the root cause, second the possible reason, third recommended fix. So we will be asking Claude itself to recommend us the fix so that it will give the best fix possible, and it will save time for us in figuring out what could be the fix for that. Okay. Fourth point would be, we will be asking Claude for any framework improvements, right? Now, for Claude to analyze better, what we will do, so we will provide this entire stack trace to Claude. So we'll just simply copy it from here. Again, we'll go to the terminal and we'll say, please find below stack trace for better understanding, right? Now, once we paste all the stack trace and once we hit the enter, again, it will use some tokens, it will utilize some time, and it will give you the best possible result. Trust me. So it worked for about 25 seconds and it has given us a very detailed output. So basically, Claude will usually identify incorrect locator, synchronization issues, dynamic DOM, iframe possibility, or page not loaded. But eventually, it should identify that this particular locator is broken. So let's see what it has given us. And if we look over here, that it has successfully identified which particular locator is being broken. So root cause it has given, the first point which we have given in the prompt, like what was the root cause for this failure, it has said that a wrong element locator, the failing command in the trace is this particular thing, no such element exception, and this maps directly to login.java, login page.java, line number 7, right? Now, second point which we've asked was like what was the possible reason. So it has said that most likely the broken suffix was intentionally or accidentally appended, so the locator no longer matches the real DOM ID. Given the project name, this was planted deliberately, and in a real project the same symptoms arises when the application's HTML changed or ID has been renamed or removed, right? So it has basically referred to that particular website of that source demo. It has went to that particular you can say the DOM element, and it has identified its ID, which is not matching with what we have given in our framework, right? Okay, now going further, third point we've asked like what was the recommended fix. So it has given us the correct locator. So see, I was saying like it has scan that particular website, the targeted website, its DOM element, and it has given us the correct locator by login button is equals to bio.id login button. Now, if we go to this website again, we will see that the ID attribute value is login button for this particular element. So Claude has suggested the correct locator as well. Okay, now the fourth point was we've asked for any kind of framework improvements. So it has said like beyond the one line fix, this framework has several gaps, typically for a bare demo. Now it has suggested that the reliability or synchronization issues are there. Now for that we can do is add explicit wait instead of relying on immediate find element, right? It has also suggested that version or environment stability is not there. So align Chrome and CDP version. So the CDP warning means Selenium does not have a matching DevTools binding for Chrome 149. This is one such suggestion it has given for framework improvement. And diagnostics and reporting. So as you can see, we do not have any kind of reporting present as of now, as it was just a demo project. So we haven't had it, but it has given this suggestion that we should be having a diagnostics and reporting. So for that, we can capture a screenshot on failure, or basically we can use ad logging for that, and other you can say the logging or the reporting techniques we can add for that, right? And other uh, other points it has also suggested, which we'll not be going into that much depth, but you can see that it has given so much details and it has saved so much of our time that we would have spent banging our heads in resolving that particular issue or debugging that particular issue and finding the real fix for that. So with this, you can see that how efficiently AI is helping QA in their day-to-day activity. So that's pretty much very impressive. So with this example, I would only suggest that Claude isn't replacing any kind of debugging skills. It isn't replacing any automation engineers. But if AI can reduce 1 hour investigation into 5 minutes, that's a tool worth learning, I would say. So the future QA engineer isn't the one competing against AI. It's the one learning how to use it efficiently. So with that said, I would like to conclude this video. If you have not subscribed this channel up till now, please subscribe it for more such content. Till then, thank you and have a nice day. In test automation, during the last few years, you've probably heard the same question repeatedly. Is Playwright replacing Selenium? And let's say if my company decides to migrate, how much work will it actually take? So today we are going to answer that question using Claude Code, where I'll give Claude a real Selenium framework and ask it to migrate the project to Playwright Java. So let's get started. So this is again a very simple Selenium project using Java as a scripting language. And here again we are using source demo as our targeted application. Now if you can see over here in the project structure, we have two Java classes. So the first one is this login test.java, where we have certain set of methods to launch the website and to do a login, and then after that we are quitting that website. And there's this another Java class where we are doing the actual operation. So this is I have named it as an inventory page.java. So as you can see over here, uh, this is what exactly the kind of test most QA engineer write every day. Nothing fancy about it, right? So if I run this particular Java class and see if it is working fine or not. So for that, let me hit this run button to quickly check if the existing Selenium Java framework is in workable condition or not. So I have started the execution. Now, as you can see, it will again launch the Chrome browser. It will launch this particular website and do a successful login. So as it has passed this particular test case, then that proves that the existing Selenium Java framework is working perfectly fine. Now what I'll do, I'll ask Claude to analyze the Selenium framework and explain the migration approach, correct? So for that, let me open the terminal. And as we know, in order to start using Claude, we have to run this command Claude, and after which it has successfully started now. So we will write a prompt, analyze this Selenium framework and explain the migration approach. So if you notice with this particular prompt, I'm not asking Claude to blindly convert the code. I am first asking it to understand the framework and propose a migration strategy. So let's run it and see what Claude has for us. So as you can see over here, it has started analyzing the Selenium framework in this directory, and it's exploring all the various different files and folders, and still it's reading. So let's wait till this process gets completed. Here you can see it has consumed around 1.5 thousand tokens, and about 37 seconds has been utilized till now. Yeah, so we've got a very detailed explanation about the prompt which we have given to Claude. As a result, it has recommended few migration orders, which says swap pom.xml dependencies and run playwright install. Then it has suggested migrate login page plus inventory page and migrate login test first. It has given the sequence also, and to validate the new lifecycle pattern, and then it has suggested to migrate add to cart, so on so forth. So it has analyzed, and it has given us the, you can say, the sequence in which we can follow the migration process. Now let's do another prompt where we will be asking Claude to convert login page.java to playwright Java. Let's see what happens. So here we'll give convert login page.java to playwright.java. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, let's say over here it has given us the entire code as well. Okay, so this all things we have been provided by Claude. Okay, so it has also asked like if we want to overwrite login page.java, so first we can verify this particular code which it has given, and if it feels good, then we can give a go ahead to Claude itself and it can do the rest, right? So it has given certain options. Okay, so first option is yes, we can allow Claude Code to overwrite login page.java with this particular code which it has given. Second is yes, allow all edits during this section. So, and third one is if you are not satisfied with the code which it has suggested, you can say no and you can choose the third option. So we have chosen the second option. It has completed the process and has said like the login page.java is now converted to Playwright, and it has given a in a tabular format that what exactly has been changed. So see over here, web driver has been changed to page, and then buyer.id username has now been changed to hash username, the CSS locator string. Other functions like of Selenium, which are like the find elements or the send keys, so those have been replaced by the Playwright functions, which are page.locator and then the username and dot fill in place of send keys. And again, like for clicking in Selenium we use click method, however it's same in Playwright as well. And it has certain imports also which got changed. Like initially it was openqa.selenium, now it has imported this package of playwright.page. Okay, and it has other nodes as well. It has given other nodes as well on the conversion, which are very detailed one, and you can go through it to get some more understanding on it. But overall, if you see, it has given a very comprehensive changes what it has what we have asked it to do. So now it is asking like want me to update the pom.xml and migrate the two test classes. So the project builds again. Now if we say yes, let's see, we say yes, so what it will do, let's see. So we have given a go ahead to Claude to migrate the pom.xml also. So it has said like I'll update the pom.xml with all these dependencies it has given. And after that, see, it has used Playwright and its version given over here, and the test ng it is using and its version. So it has also given what all changes which we have to do in the inventory page.java class. So this red section which you are seeing over here, it's simply what will get replaced during this migration task. All these green things which you are seeing over here, these will all get added to the existing classes. Okay, so by doing all these changes which Claude has suggested, you can simply migrate your Selenium Java project to Playwright Java project. Now, as you can see, whatever Claude has suggested, it has updated in the respective files as well. So now the new inventory.java file looks something like this. This dot page. So if you see over here, it has all the Playwright related, you can say, functions and variables. And same goes over here in the login test.java as well. Here also it has replaced entire Selenium with Playwright. And the most important part over here in the pom.xml, you can see it has replaced which initially was Selenium with Playwright now along with its version. So let's see if this code that has been suggested by Claude is really working or not. Or let's go to this login test.java page and try running it. So if I hit on this run button, so I'll do run login. Now it will start building up this project. It will start downloading all the dependencies which is there in this pom.xml, and it has started the test as well. So as you can see, it is downloading Chromium. As you can see, all the dependencies related to Playwright execution, like the various different browsers like Chromium, then Firefox, it has started downloading it, correct? So we'll wait for some time till all the dependencies get loaded and see if the tests are working fine or not. Yes, so as you can see, it has executed in the headless mode. So you have not seen a Chrome instance getting opened up, but yes, the test has been passed successfully over here, right? So that means that the code, the Playwright code which Claude has suggested is totally reliable. It's working totally fine. So isn't it very simple? Otherwise, you would have uh, taken a whole day to migrate this very simple framework from Selenium Java to Playwright Java. But with the help of Claude, you just need to do few copy paste and your job is done. So final thought in this whole process is, like, let's say if I gonna ask you this question, is Claude going to migrate a 5,000 test framework automatically? Probably not. We have seen in this example. It we have to give certain prompts, right? Then only it will do the job for us. But it can accelerate the work dramatically. As I've said, if you would have done this migration activity, it would have taken you a whole day to write the code in Playwright, to update all the dependencies from, let's say, Selenium to Playwright, right? It would have taken you simply a whole day. But with this, by using or taking help from Claude Code, it became very simple, and within half an hour, you can complete the entire job. And that's where I think tools like Claude become incredibly valuable for QA engineers. What's your thought in this? Please drop a comment on this particular video. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Thank you.